Well, after a day away, the voice has returned, and so is Europa League football with Fulham. But this one is going to be a little bit trickier. We've had a rotten November as we expected. The big boys are still too strong for us. And today, after hosting Liverpool in the Premier League, we're going away to the Nou Camp in the Europa League group stage. I've said it before, God knows how they've ended up here. But today, we've got to go and deal with them. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 22 of this FM09 Let's Retro save from Fulham FC. Thank you for coming along after a day away. Apologies for the waning voice. Hopefully it'll hold out for this half an hour or so. Today we face Liverpool and Barcelona as we've got two jobs to do in the Premier League and in the Europa League. It's a very important time for us because in the Europa League we are already through, but of course it is the battle of first v second place. The slip-ups of Sampdoria have made things easier for us as we don't have to worry as much about the Barca match. But the Premier League is where things are starting to go wrong as we faced all the big boys this month and we've struggled for points as we expected. If you're looking forward to seeing how we get on, then please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. But for now, let's go and get ahead to the fixture list and see what has been going right and wrong since you were last here with me, because you were with me. When was it? Back for the Sampdoria game where we won 2-0. Then we snuck a victory against West Brom where we dwindled a little later in the match. We followed that up with a defeat because I kind of took the gamble with it being a free Premier League game week is let's win the two home games. We'll rest people away from home, see how it goes. And we almost got a point. Jermaine Pennant scored a goal. We did do okay, but in the end, the reserve team let us down. A big mistake from Frederick Storr. Bobby Zamora in front of goal wasn't great. We were down to our third choice striker because the likes of Josie Altidore were already injured as well. But it did work out because against Pompey at the weekend, we won by 3-1. Albin, Sissoko and Fleck, all fit, all firing, got us another 3 points on the board. We then won 7-0 at home to Maribor, and it was a very young side that featured in that one. 3 youth players coming off the bench. Alex Harrison started and scored 2 goals. Billy Jones got a brace as well. Both of the Websters, Young Paul and Andy, the centre-half, got a goal each. And an own goal was helpful as well. That put us through in the Europa League because Sampdoria lost at Barcelona. But then it's been a little bit tougher since, hasn't it? A 3-1 defeat away at Manchester City. John Fleck's goal, not enough to keep us competitive. We lost 2-1 after extra time to Liverpool in the League Cup. Sergei Ignacevic getting a goal. We couldn't quite get the job done though, which is a real shame. We did though 3 days later pick up a decent point against Arsenal. Juan Albin scoring a brace, including a thunderous free kick. And then a 2-0 defeat last time out at Chelsea. As away from home at those top sides, we're still not quite at the level. It is difficult. We've got Liverpool today. Then Borough are absolutely flying. They're our next home match as well. But the good news is with these 2 Europa matches, we can rest people a little bit because we're through. We're guaranteed Sampdoria can't catch us. And if Barca win the next one, we're guaranteed to be second. So actually, I think it's worked out pretty nicely for us. We've then got that run of winnable games coming up over the festive period before we start the new year with games where I'm going to have to decide because in the space of 48 hours, we face Manchester United and then Tottenham. We're basically going to have to pick one to have a go at and one to lose. Then, of course, it becomes about consistency because that run of fixtures we're in the midst of now, we've got again just before the end of the season. So with us 5th in the Premier League, and it's all looking fairly tight up there. United again starting to run away, but after that, everyone's separated by a few points. Just Spurs who have dropped off, which maybe gives us the chance at the top 7 this year. But if Borough break in, if they can pick up points, it might make things a little trickier. Let's go and get into the first of today's 2 matches. We're outside the transfer window. There's not a lot going on off the pitch. So it's all about what we can do in this one. Liverpool at home in the Premier League. We've had a rare week off, which has not happened for a little while. We've also got Josie Altidore back to fitness and ready to be among the substitutes instead of Bobby Zamora today. So there are some positives starting to creep in. We have got a squad that is getting closer to being able to compete. But of course, we've still got those unhappy players. We've still got people who, to be fair, have been inconsistent this season. But most of the team, as you can see from the average ratings, is doing really well. We're starting to control matches, but against these top sides, we've just been found wanting a little. But at home, we've been competitive. In the cup game, we gave them a match up with a rotated side. So let's see what we can do in this one with Johan Peller in goal, Rosman and Enrique the fullbacks alongside Diakate and Hangeland in the middle, Sissoko, Schneiderlin and Skelbred, the midfield three reunited. Sissoko had an absolute stinker at Chelsea last time out, and then Giuliano and Albin joined by Fleck up front with Altidore back on the bench. It's been an interesting year with John Fleck actually, because up front he does work quite well. He drops into a little number 10 role at times, and then threads those through balls for the two wingers running on, which is where Pennant got his last goal, where Albin's got a couple. Let's see if we can do the same today. Fulham v Liverpool at Craven Cottage, and a win would be a really great result here. Anything other than a defeat, I'm probably a pretty happy man. Well, 4-2-3-1 for Liverpool, and it's a fairly strong side, but it's not their usual. We're not seeing any Mascherano, we're not seeing any Gerrard. Not seeing Torres either. Let's have a look at them at the minute. They've got some big injuries. Torres is fit, just not picked, and I've no idea why. Have they got a big game coming up? They've got a Champions League game that may well be decisive. Sorry, Europa League game that may be decisive. There's 1 point separating them at the top, but it does seem a little bit odd that a couple of them aren't playing. Of course, the likes of Gerrard and that are injured. There's no doubt in that's a factor. But Torres in particular, one you would have expected to see. Let's go and get through the match analysis and team talk. We're going to tell the boys that they can win this game. You can see the one problem at this stage as well. The confidence just starts to wane slightly. The morale drops a little bit. Then you have to worry about results and momentum. Dagen's picked up an early injury, which is not a bad thing for us. But hopefully with 5 minutes gone, we can just stay in this game for now as we're down the right with Giuliano. First attack of the game. Rosman towards the byline. Chance to get the cross in, the young right back. Wins the corner. And we know what a threat we can be from these. It's not been as potent this year, but at times we've still found the right delivery. And this would be a good day to do it as Albin delivers. Hangeland's up. Great challenge, Riera. Giuliano on the edge of the box. Beaten to it by his Brazilian teammate Aurelio. It's away as far as Rosman, who hooks forward again. Albin down to Giuliano. The Brazilian down the right. Space to run into. Gets to the byline again. Good ball into Morgan Schneiderlin. And that's a wonderful goal. A great start from Fulham, a goal to put us ahead. The first one on target of the match is in. And you've got to say, Giuliano started brilliantly, created a couple of chances already, and Schneiderlin finishes that one with aplomb. Well, 15 on the clock, it's been a brilliant start, albeit the only shot has been the goal. Sissoko's got it to Enrique, and it's our territory again as Fleck runs into the box, beats Dagen. Two on the edge if he can find them. Enrique delivers it, Schneiderlin again, and it's Morgan Schneiderlin in again. 2 goals in 15 minutes, arriving late in the box. It's the biggest difference to this year, which is why we've been able to score so many more against the teams lower in the division, is that we've got those runners from midfield. Last year, it was just Skelbred. The year before, it was neither of them. Now we've got 2 midfielders joining the striker and wide men. It's absolutely brilliant as that one's into Hangeland. And over the bar, it could have been 3. What a 20 minutes it's been. Liverpool have not had a sniff. Well, 5 minutes later, and it's another corner for Fulham. This is utter dominance as Diakate forces the save from the keeper. Pepe Reina delivering the goods. He's keeping them in the game. They've got an injured Soldado up front now as well as Albin delivers. He's headed away by Ryan Babel. This has been the best I could have dreamed of. We've not dominated a top side like this for a long time. We were competitive in the cup game. We weren't at this level. Half an hour, it's been brilliant. Timashuk's got a knock as well. Maybe now we're seeing why they were rotating. And Liverpool have not had a shot in 40 minutes. Though they are on the attack here as Schneiderlin up against Xabi Alonso. It's been lost to Ryan Babel. Heavy touch, but he's in one-on-one. Oh, that's so unfortunate. The way it dropped down and it's 2-1. It is one thing I have got to say this season. We've kept a lot less clean sheets. And that's a really poor goal to give away. Not sure what the defensive line was doing. Been a great first half, but is the timing of that goal going to prove to be costly later on? 2-1, Liverpool have half the deficit, and let's be fair, they're not going to get any worse, are they? Well, half time, it's been the Morgan Schneiderlin show. A brace puts us 2-1 up. We've been really good defensively bar that one chance we gave away. I'm not going to say I'm pleased. Remember to learn your lesson. Don't let the performance drop. Into the second half we go. Can we please hold on? We've often struggled in the second half this year, but Liverpool have been playing Thursday night football as well. Hopefully that will show in this game as Xabi Alonso starting to get into it. Out towards Cal. Wins it from Enrique, but Sissoko's there and clears as far as Albin. Dagen's up against him though and wins it. Kaut will get down the right-hand side. Has support. Skelbred goes out, does really well. Clears it down the line for Fleck, who will run the channels all day. Should have the pace on Carragher. Just waiting for support. Can he hold it up? John Fleck beats him. Inside to Albin. Edge of the box. There's three arriving in the middle. Schneiderlin's one of them again. Morgan Schneiderlin has scored his first hat-trick for the club. Where has this come from? I mean, he's a very good player, but he's not the most frequent of scorers. He got a few in pre-season in the Europa against poor opposition, but he scored one in the league last year and mainly created with assists. And he's got one this year so far. And he's now just scored a hat-trick against Liverpool in 47 minutes. I'm not complaining by any stretch, but I've no idea how to explain it. As 10 minutes later, the ball's bobbling around in midfield again. Skelbred looking for Diakate. Just don't want to give away anything silly. Offer no route back in. As Schneiderlin finds Skelbred. The front three are spreading and Albin is as wide as possible here with Enrique flying on the overlap. Can't afford to lose it and doesn't. Finds Enrique eventually. Gets to the byline. Timoshuk dragged across. Into John Fleck. It's a heavy touch. Back to Juan Albin. Ryan Babel doing the defending on the edge of his own box. And anywhere will do as Diakate can pick it up. What a performance this has been so far. We've not had many chances either. It's just been a brilliant display. Defensively rock solid. And with 20 minutes to go, I think we can look at changes in a moment, but we're not going to go mad. Might just change the striker, get Josie Altidore on. As Schneiderlin has been beaten by Babel. You can shoot from there all you want. Straight into the arms of Pella. That's a very happy day for us. I'm going to make the first change. John Fleck is going to be replaced by the returning Josie Altidore. He has not featured since he got injured against Sampdoria in the last episode. He'd been on good form prior to that game. Let's hope he can continue it this time. What a performance we've had so far, though. There are just under 20 to go. Well, in comes the throw from the right-hand side. Giuliano cutting in for the box. Edge of the chance to shoot. It's out to Enrique. He's challenged well. Jose Enrique on the left-hand finds Sissoko. Oh, my words. I lost my trail of thought there because I didn't expect him to shoot. Moussa Sissoko. What a goal. One this season so far. Make that two. And that is an absolute screamer. Altidore now does come on. Normally, I don't have to worry about that highlight before the subs. It's just killing time. But that is ridiculous. I might even get to give Schneiderlin a rest at this point. As he picks it up in midfield again to Skelbred. Support wide on both sides. Altidore beats Sicardo. Josie Altidore back in style. Forces a good save from Reina. This is stunning. This is stunning. Diakate puts it safe. Now, what else can we do on the bench here? Skelbred is struggling a little bit physically, as is Schneiderlin. They're going to get a rest in midweek, so I'm not as worried. Rosman is normally the one that struggles the most. So Frederick Storr, again, this probably isn't a game to bring him on. Edinho could go into midfield, so I'm going to take Skelbred off for Sissoko. We're going to go like that. Edinho will go into the holding role. And again, I might just save the last one a few more minutes because everyone's playing so well. Why make the third one for the sake of it? It's not like there's youngsters on the bench. We're just going to enjoy the occasion. Well, 10 minutes to go and it's back in Liverpool's defensive third, which is where we want it. Though Ryan Babel hacks clear. Edinho should mop up and he does just that. Back to Hangeland in his own half. Big ball forward, Altidore's offside. He's going to put it in and score. In fact, it's saved by the keeper, but he's off anyway. The last change I'm going to make, do you know what? I don't often get to bring Martin Olsen on at the minute. So he's going to get an appearance for Jose Enrique. I think that will be our final change just because we've got the luxury of making whatever sub we want at this point. 8 minutes remaining. It's been the perfect day. And so far, all we've got to do is avoid injuries, which is the one thing we have managed so far. As it's up to Diakate, away as far as Carragher. Altidore chases, but still looks a little rusty at the minute. Rosman loses out to Babel. Edinho clears and Altidore up again, preventing Carragher from getting it forward, but it does fall for Dirk Kuyt. Now Yossi Benayoun, the substitute, shoots from distance and Pella will put that over comfortably. A good chance for Liverpool that they've created something, but in this game they can have no complaints. They've offered very little threat and very little attacking intent as Diakate heads clear as far as Timoshuk. Out to Babel on the left-hand side. He's got the chance to cross. Rosman does really well. I mean, bar that one silly chance we gave away, we've been so solid at the back. Can we keep it up for just 5 more minutes as Arbeloa finds Nemeth? Back to Arbeloa again. Over to the left-hand side. Good ball in. Rosman does brilliantly. Zaccardo into the box again. Carragher's the last man forwards. And he's offside. Doesn't get back behind the offside trap. And this, it's just a celebratory lap at this point. Get Craven Cottage full and enjoy these days as Benayoun goes back to Xabi Alonso. Tell you what, if they've still got that neutral stand open in this universe, there'll be a few of those neutrals coming back as regulars as Dagan gets it into Timoshuk. Cuts inside to Kaut, beats Hangeland brilliantly. Good save by Pella. Even he's playing his part in goal. He's not had much to do. He delivers a big save there. Into stoppage time, just 2 minutes of it. A brilliant day. We're going to rest people against Barca because that has given me some newfound confidence that not only we could make the European places this year, but we could maybe push for that elusive top 4. Well done to the lads. A brilliant, brilliant performance. Aurelio apparently was atrocious. Let's see where that leaves us in the league because that's a magnificent display. It's going to be a tough day at the Nou Camp with our backup side. A historic 4-1 victory is absolutely correct. We stay in 5th, but we're now just 1 point behind Liverpool. City are obviously hot on the tails, but the rest of them behind are looking further away, and a top 6 finish would be incredible progress. Thursday night now, not the most important game in the world. We're going to be facing Iniesta, Xavi, Messi and co. And to be fair, we got a 0-0 draw at home. We'll be playing anti-football again, and we get another result against Barca. Well, it's Wednesday night football this time in the Europa, which actually probably helps us a little bit looking ahead to the weekend because we've got 3 days off before Middlesbrough, then Wearley an 11-day break. We have got Portsmouth in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, which is winnable, but not an ideal tie. And for some reason, Giuliano's away on international duty at the start of next year. Oh, and it's moved the United game as well. I've just noticed that. That probably helps us out at the new year. But for now, let's go and get away to Barcelona at the Nou Camp. It's going to be quite an interesting game, actually, because we're going away already through. Barca already through as well. It will be intriguing to see who goes closest to the first team. We're going to go for pretty much a fully rotated 11 and just play backs to the wall as we did at home. For me, second place is still a good achievement. We're unlikely to win even with the first 11. And we need to beat Borough on Saturday, who are the closest of the non-Big Six chasing pack. So let's go and get this backup team picked. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. With very little need to risk first team, as this is the 11 that we've gone for today. It's quite an interesting setup, actually. Of course, the big news, the headline, is Josie Altidore gets his first start after injury up front. He's got a real chance to rebuild his fitness after a couple of frustrating periods out. Then the rest of the team, Ali Al-Habsi in goal, Storr and Olsen the fullbacks with Ignashevich alongside Webster in defence. Edinho provides the midfield buffer. Andreasen and Jones will not be flying forward once we get into the match. Then it's the pace on the counter of Pennant and Beasley out wide with Josie Altidore, the big man up top. Couple of the youngsters, Webster and Harrison, are among the substitutes. Other backups including Omazusi, Murphy and Zamora. Then the only real first teamers there are Sissoko and Fleck. They've played less than the rest this season. So let's go and get away to the Nou Camp and see how we get on in this big game. Well, it would appear that someone has forgotten to tell Barcelona they're already through because look at this team. They've bought in Thierry Henry, they've bought in Messi, Busquets, Iniesta, Gargo, the midfield 3, Abidal, Piqué, Puyol and Alves, the back 4. Asulin, of course, was a wonder kid in this game as well. It's a ridiculous side. We are going to play backs to the wall. Let's go and get through to the team talk. We are going to tell the boys that the pressure is off. They've got absolutely nothing to lose. In central midfield, of course, we are not going to have Andreasen piling forward. He's going to drop back a little bit. Is he still going to play through balls? He's not the best at it in the world, so we'll probably just go to there. And we'll do exactly the same, I think, on the other side with Billy Jones, who will not make the forward runs either. At fullback, we're going to stop the flying forward runs from Martin Olsen and from Frederick Storr. And then I think we're going to time waste all the time. We're going to go almost back to what we used to do in the first season and just hope it's enough to keep us in the game because we've been so threatening on the break at times. And against this Barcelona team, I think it's our only chance. I'm not expecting a result. To be honest, if we could get the 0-0 we got at home, I would be overjoyed. I would expect this to be a defeat, though. It's more about getting fitness into Altidore, getting minutes into some of the other players, and most importantly, trying to keep it respectable. That's going to be the big question here. Can we keep it within reason? Well, as we head into the first half, some genius from the media has worked out that Lionel Messi might be the key player in this game. As Busquets gets possession in midfield, I would expect Barca to dominate it. I still can't work out what they're doing in this tournament, as Alves gets it to Messi. Not really a match for Andy Webster, into Thierry Henry, back to Asulin and over. Actually had 60% of the ball in the first 8 minutes, which is pretty remarkable in itself. It's 0-0 at the moment, which we'll take. But how long is that going to last? Not long is probably the answer, as Abidal gets it on the left. As you can see, same pattern as we had in the home game, which is just possession, possession, sit back and wait for the chance to counter. It's a corner kick for Barcelona with that shot blocked, and Iniesta will be the man on the delivery duty. It's in towards the box. Al Habsi does well. We've survived 20 minutes. It's a positive start. Well, not quite, because there's 30 seconds of it to go, and he's up towards Webster. Messi challenging him for it. Alves and Henry up to the seconds. Both of them combined to head wide. We have got through 20 now, and so far, we've not conceded a shot on target, as Martin Olsen throws in from the left. He got sent off in a reverse fixture, of course. We had to sit really deep after that. Zadinho picks it up for Ignacevic in defence. Back to Ali Al-Habsi, who clears long downfield. Altidore second best against Puyol, and Gargo finds Iniesta with space, which is not what we want. Up to Henry, who's brilliantly challenged by Webster, and Frederick Storr can find Ignacevic. Back to Al-Habsi, but again, not really many options in front of him, and it's just long hopeful balls towards Altidore, who actually does well that time. Flicks on, but no one's there to challenge PK. Andreasen ends a scrappy spell by giving it away to Messi. That is not what you want to do, is give the ball unmarked to Messi 30 yards out. The clearance from Olsen is blocked. At the moment, we don't look like attacking, but we're holding out, and that's about the best we could hope for. 25 now on the clock, and we're still surviving. Oh, it's a throw on the right for Dani Alves, who plays a 1-2 with Messi. Beasley closes down, forces the cross backwards. Gargo will pick it up with space to run into. Up to Asulin, who turns well and puts his shot over the bar. We couldn't 0-0 it again, could we? Would be some effort. We're just over 10 to go to half-time. Again, an aimless ball towards Altidore, and it's dealt with easily by Puyol. Messi's picked up a knock, trying to do it all himself. That takes him off early. I mean, there isn't a better replacement than Messi. That's the only positive we can look at. We're just over 5 to the break, though. We're getting our first foray forward. Altidore gets it from the Freddie Storr throw-in. Imagine we nicked one. Storr gets down the right. Jermaine Pennant takes on the fullback, does really well. Cuts inside, finds Altidore, turns it inside. Great save, Valdez. First chance for Fulham in the entire match, but it's probably the best one that either side has had. Brilliant from Altidore to muscle past the defender. In the end, just lacked a little composure on the finish, but it is the first clear-cut chance of the match. The only disappointment is, it's the only chance we've had. We've reached the half-time whistle, it's 0-0, and we've had the best chance. This is a great effort so far. Altidore struggling, Beasley the same. We're doing well. We can win this game, boys. Believe in yourself second half, and who knows what the outcome could be. Well, this is where it all starts to go wrong. 7 minutes into the second half, and Josie Altidore is injured again. I'm not going to risk Fleck, and I'm not going to go for the youth player. We're going to give Bobby Zamora his due day out of the Nou Camp, because look, these players have still been a key part of this squad over several years, and his goals early in the first season got us away from the relegation zone when Andy Johnson wasn't performing, and he scored a couple last season as we pushed for Europe. So I feel like we've got to be fair here. These boys have earned their day in the sun. Marcus Beasley is really struggling a little bit, so I'm going to take him off with 25 to go. Don't really know what my options are here. I've got Omazusi, who could come on, and I could put Olsen further forward on the left-hand side. He is a threat up there. Or I could go for John Fleck as a natural sub, Murphy, and push someone wide. I think we're going to go John Fleck because, look, subject to that Altidore injury not being bad, he'll be out of the first 11 again fairly soon. I don't want him to just sort of miss out on opportunities because I'm saving him for games he then won't play. What's most remarkable about this match is we've still had over 50% of the ball. Barca are not playing the Pep Guardiola way as Bojan is on off the bench. He must have replaced Messi for the injury because Asulin switched sides. Doesn't make them any weaker, does it? It's a corner kick for Iniesta. Outswinger this time. To the front post. Adinho beats PK and Zamora. Working hard to get back. Does well again. And wins the foul from Marquez. That's superb. You've got to give him credit. Just over 20 to go. We're at the 3-quarter mark. and we've not conceded. It's been a brilliant effort as Zamora aims for Fleck. Alves wins it. Samuel Eto'o is now on as well. Jesus. They're really not taking it easy on us, are they? Bojan and Eto'o, the two wide men behind Henry, as Olsen gets it back to Adinho. Out to Olsen again. Could just hook down the line and does. Zamora's got him behind. Oh, Bobby, this is your moment. Bobby Zamora, 1-on-1, rounds the keeper. Oh my God, Bobby. What a moment. Martin Olsen just smashes it over the top. And against the complete run of play, we've created the two best chances in this match. Altidore in the first half, Bobby Zamora in the second. It is Barcelona 0, Fulham 1, and it's Bobby Zamora. Now don't concede from the corner, please. Andreasen does well with the initial ball. Inside to Marquez, and it's wide at the post. He doesn't feature much these days, Bobby Zamora, but he won't care after a moment like that. That is incredible. Throw on the left-hand side for Gago. Long towards Henry. Ignacevic half clears it. Gago again will get it on the left side of the box. Into Alves. Oh, keeper. Ali, what are you doing? Ali Al-Habsi drifts into no man's land. Ignacevic is to blame. His clearance wasn't great, but the cross wasn't threatening. That seems really harsh. I'm going to take Andreasen off for Danny Murphy. Just try and get a little bit of a calm and control in possession. At the start of the game, if you'd have offered me 1-1, I'd be delighted. But it's a corner kick for Iniesta and Barca are piling the pressure on. Al-Habsi's gone into no man's land again. I'm worried about that. Abidal heads it out for a goal kick. We get away with it. They're really starting to push forward and pile the pressure on, as you'd probably expect. You know, they've bought on Eto'o, they've bought on Bojan. They're flying. Zadinho gets it in midfield. Big switch to Pennant. Puyol just beats him to it. And you can see they've gone for the narrow three up front now. Barca throwing everything at us. Iniesta trying to work it forward. Henry's up there. Gets it wide to Alves. Look how many they've got in the box. Bojan's one of them. And it's just too much. They've chucked 4 or 5 up top and we can't deal with it. Barcelona 2, Fulham 1. This backup team have almost done something very special. But as it is now, it's going to be a defeat with an injury to the only first teamer who started. And on paper, it becomes a bad night. But we've been competitive with one of the best. With 4 minutes of injury time to play, it looks like we're going to fall just short. As Alves throw-in, finds Gago. Webster caught out of position. Billy Jones beaten by Piqué, who stepped in to hold in midfield. Flick forward towards Zamora, who beats Marquez again. He's had a brilliant game since coming on. Puyol goes long. Eto'o must be offside. Ignacevic wins the header. Fleck beaten by Alves. Jones able to get there though. Billy Jones looking for a way through. Adinho to Murphy. Danny Murphy goes wide. John Fleck in behind. Beats Alves with a brilliant touch. John Fleck into the box. Good cross. Just beats everyone. Frederick Storr on the edge. Chance to cross from the other side. Gets towards the byline. There's 5 in the middle. Frederick Storr finds Pennant. And he's just offside apparently. Didn't look it, but it's been given. It's such a great effort. We've run Barcelona so close. I mean, they won, what, 7-0 at home to Sampdoria. But Zamora's just offside this time. What an effort. Almost the perfect away counter-attacking display. But in the end, defeat and injuries. And it becomes a tough one. Please just let Altidore be all right. Let it just be a little muscle strain coming back from an injury. A 2-1 defeat at the Nou Camp with a rotated side. A brilliant effort from these boys. But it's not quite enough, I'm afraid. I'm going to tell him it was a good effort. I think it was. Now let's see what we can do against Borough at the weekend. And firstly, whether Altidore is going to be fit for it. Oh, for God's sake, it's happened again. He's torn his hamstring. That's not even a similar injury to what he had, is it? His last one was a groin strain, so he's getting completely unrelated knocks. And a sprained ankle, so he's not had a hamstring injury before. That is a worry for a young man. For now, though, with John Fleck continuing up front, let's see when we're going to be back. Because I'd planned for United and Spurs. But obviously that's going to have to change now. So I think we might do Spurs and Everton or Everton and Villa. Because they're the sort of games, and it's a side that are in that chasing pack. We'll see who's closest when we get there. Spurs were in it last year. The other two doing better at the moment. We'll come back for 2 of those 3 fixtures, depending on how the table is looking. If you did enjoy this one, though, a wonderful performance at home to Liverpool, genuinely brilliant, and a great effort at the Nou Camp, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. maybe if he didn't get a move, we have to go back in for Kjæresen in January, because can we get a second quality striker to add to this squad? If you want to find out and stay up to date, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. The voice is held up, so we should be back to normal every weekday for the rest of this one. Don't forget to come and follow us on Twitch. We're live tonight watching a bit of Champions League qualifying. And we're back from this weekend over on the podcast channel. As the new EFL season draws near, we will be back with our pre-season predictions. Thank you so much for watching and being along as always. We'll see you again tomorrow for the next one, as the action turns to domestic focus only and two big games in the Premier League. I'll see you there.